Okay. So we're going to talk about Delta Force a little bit. Delta Force, our hydraulic downforce option. These planters have got either a pneumatic or a hydraulic option. This 2160 that I'm working on now is obviously the Delta Force system. Delta Force has this hydraulic cylinder here. There's a coil on the front side that controls the down pressure of it. They operate off of a common lift pressure. That is controlled by a linkage that runs off of your wobble all the way back to your depth handle. And there's a weigh pin setting right underneath your meter here. That's basically testing how much weight is on your gauge wheels all the time. That's something that we set in the cab. This system is capable of 250 pounds of lift, 450 pounds of downforce, and it's making changes about 5 times a second. So at this point, everybody's heard the term of a 10-mile-an-hour planter. These machines were definitely built with that in mind, and with every supporting piece of it to run 10 miles an hour and above that. So talking about Delta Force even more here, we're going to talk about setting it and what to look for when you're setting it. So on our Proto 1200 display here, we've got all of our control options on this box here. We've got 3 presets, light, standard, and heavy. That's going to be 50, 100, and 150 pounds of downforce or margin. We can also do a custom setting and set that to whatever we want, from 0 to 250 pounds. Margin is how much weight's actually being felt on the downforce, how much extra weight is applied to the row unit above what it needs to be pushed into the ground. I always start my guys on 100. It seems like it's pretty universal at that point that we can at least get it in the ground and make a couple passes and see how it's running. As far as what we need to be looking at, first and foremost, we have to get out of the cab, have to get out, dig, see, make sure we're not putting excess compaction in. But from the display, we're going to be watching our ground contact, which is some weight, no matter what that number is, but there's actually weight on the gauge wheels. If we hit this circle up here, it'll roll through it. This is your applied downforce, which is the amount of weight that's being added to the row unit. The next one is good ride. So how much is the row unit bouncing up and down while it's going through the field? And gauge wheel downforce average, which is how much weight the gauge wheels are feeling as you're going through the field. I normally watch my ground contact first. I want that to be close to, but not quite 100%. If it runs 100% most of the time, but you've got a couple random rows that bounce around, and you'll get it down to 98%, and it bounces right back up, and then that row unit that number moves to a different row unit. That's perfect. We don't want so much that it's reading 100% all the time, because it could be way too much and it's just staying glued to the ground. So we don't want to have any excess downforce, but we need enough to make sure that we're achieving planting depth.